Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another video. Today for you guys, we've got something pretty damn cool to talk about. Something that I've wanted to share with you guys for quite some time now, as this has sort of been lingering around ever since the start of this year, and that is a Kingdom Hearts HD sort of remake project that is being developed in the Unreal Engine 4. Now, of course, this is a fan-made project. This is not officially being created by that of Square Enix. We were actually talking about this exact idea earlier at the start of this year, with Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 potentially being remade in the Unreal Engine 4, all with HD assets and whatnot. Now, of course, that is just a pipe dream. I don't think Square Enix will ever go ahead and recreate number 1 and 2 within the Unreal Engine, although this is something that I know a lot of people would absolutely love to see, specifically speaking towards Kingdom Hearts 2, as it seems to be the fan favorite. Square Enix's main priority and focus as of right now is of course pushing the series forward into the next saga. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, fan-made project, oh dear. A lot of the time when it comes to these fan-made projects, not just looking at Kingdom Hearts fan-made projects, but really any sort of video game fan-made projects, usually they never get completed, mainly because they are just either way too ambitious, as it's just simply one dude or maybe a couple of people working on it. Well, the other side of the coin is that the companies who actually own these intellectual properties end up sending out cease and desists, pretty much threatening the fans, saying, hey, basically if you continue with this, we're gonna have to take some sort of legal action. Now, this is being created by that of Redraw Studios, and I've actually covered some of his stuff over the years. Me and him have been in contact for quite some time now, and I actually got in contact with him to ask him a few questions about the project, as well as that also making sure that I am able to cover this without any fear of Square Enix stepping into the scene. He was completely okay with me talking about this, as well as giving me a bit of context towards the project in itself. Now, what I will say is, I don't know if this will ever actually be a thing in the sense of being finalized and completed, because again, there is always that fear of Square Enix stepping into the scene saying, hey, you cannot continue with this. That's always a possibility. Even still so, if this never actually comes to fruition and never ends up getting completed, the original intention of this project was that Redraw could better his skills in the Unreal Engine 4, as he has been studying towards game development for quite some time now. And honestly, just seeing scenes of Kingdom Hearts 2 in an HD format is very, very charming. There's just something about it, even though I have this feeling that we may potentially never actually see this be completed. Just seeing different screenshots and pieces of footage of this game in a sort of potential HD format is just amazing to see. It reminds me of the work that Caleb Moore, another Twitter user that I covered within that video talking about the possibility of Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 being translated into HD with HD assets and whatnot in Unreal. I actually featured some of his work recreating that of Twilight Town in the Unreal Engine 4, as well as Traverse Town. This right here though is an actual project that plans to actually recreate Kingdom Hearts 2 in its entirety. Yes, I know what you're thinking, that's pretty damn ambitious. All of the material that you're seeing as of right now is in development footage of this project, so just keep in mind things might look a little bit funky here and there. Redraw, I believe, has been working on it since the start of this year, and as of right now, I don't think that there is any current planned finish point for the project itself. It's pretty much just going to be finished when it's finished, so long as there's nothing that happens to intervene the project's development in the sense of Square Enix stepping in. So I'm going to run through some of the questions and answers that I got from Redraw, just to give a bit of context towards the actual project itself. So the first question I asked was, what is the goal here? In other words, do you plan on recreating the game in its entirety or just portions? I'm curious just because a full recreation is pretty ambitious. I'm assuming this is a solo project, or do you have help? The answer to this is, I originally intended to make this project to learn Unreal Engine better. I learn by doing something I like doing, so it sticks to my brain easier, but with all the buzz this project has been getting, I do intend on recreating the whole game. He went on to say that he assembled a team with the intention of everyone learning learning something from the project. They have all made tremendous strides, and I'm very happy with all they have done to help. We are a team of 16 members. They mainly help with props, music, and art-related things, as well as a few modders to get us an inside look at how Kingdom Hearts 2 works. So keeping in mind that this isn't just a solo project or 2 or 3 dudes, no, this is actually comprised of about 16 people. The second question I asked was what assets are being used here. It appears that these are some of the 0.2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 assets, and are you creating your own? In regards to the building assets for worlds, are you having to recreate these yourself, or are you touching up pre-existing ones? The answer to this is yes, I do admit 0.2 assets are being used, but only character models and a few keyblades. Other than that, I recreated all the maps from scratch and will continue to do so. We also recreated all the particle effects from scratch as well. I've also done a bit of personal upscaling, many texture improvements to the original Kingdom Hearts 2 textures to make some beautiful looking materials. I used this mostly in Twilight Town. So that is all of the information that I got from Redraw in regards to the project. And we can really see this in Twilight Town. Of course, there's all the familiar buildings and the correct placements that they should be in, and some assets pulled from, of course, the original game, but as Redraw said, upscaled to make them look even better. Of course, the character models and whatnot are the 0.2 ones and some keyblades, but other than that, there is also a lot of original work being thrown into the mix to make this all come together nicely. Now, the major thing towards this is, of course, making the game actually feel like that of Kingdom Hearts 2. Of course, recreating the combat system that Square Enix had in Kingdom Hearts 2 would be no easy feat to achieve. So he said, we have all been working very hard to make this feel and look as genuine as possible. Me and the others have spent countless days and nights studying, fixing bugs, making models and textures, effects, code, and music. Anything that looks off will be fixed, and that's a promise from the entire team. So you can see that there is a lot of passion being poured into this just from the sheer amount of footage and screenshots that we already have for the actual project. I have to say it's gorgeous to see some of these absolutely familiar scenes in an HD format. And again, even if this doesn't come to fruition, just seeing this puts a damn big smile on my face. Seeing stuff like the fire magic being used from Kingdom Hearts 2, where the fire actually swirls around Sora in an HD format looks absolutely gorgeous, as well as the reflect magic working properly as well. All of the correct animations are here too, which is just absolutely awesome. One thing that absolutely took me away was the Station of Awakening. Seeing that in absolute HD was beautiful. Of course, we got to see a little bit of that in Kingdom Hearts 3 within Sora's dive to Heart. Seeing that stained glass in high resolution textures and the fact that you can sort of see through it was just breathtaking. So to actually fully see the Station of Awakening with like the 3 pillars with the sort of light reflecting off the glass onto the character model just looks amazing. Things like drive forms as well, seeing the 0.2 model of Sora, but within his drive form outfits, we can see like final form here, master form, limit form, wisdom form, valor form. Anti-form is also in here as well, but unfortunately wasn't included in this screenshot. But just seeing his high resolution model from 0.2, which yes, isn't as good looking as the Kingdom Hearts 3 one, but still it's an HD model of Sora and an official one as well. Within the drive form outfits, look absolutely great. Sora is also present with all of his animations that you would expect him to have from Kingdom Hearts 2. The idle animations, standing animations, stance animations, they're all here. Also, the small detail of actually seeing his like hair wave around, gorgeous. So you can already see that there has been a lot of time and passion and dedication already poured into this project, but also just keep in mind this is still in the very, very early stages. I'm crossing my fingers, I'm honestly crossing my fingers that this is a project that does eventually get completed. I'm not holding my breath too hard here because again, just always the possibility of Square Enix stepping into the scene to absolutely cancel it. But of course, if Square Enix isn't gonna do it, then hand the project over to a fan. I mean, of course there's no intention to sell this off, otherwise yeah, there really would be a problem. But I honestly don't see overly too much harm in making something like this, as of course fans are absolutely clamoring to get something like Kingdom Hearts 2 running on something like the Unreal Engine, looking as gorgeous as this. I think there is a lot of potential here just from what we have seen so far, as well as knowing that there is actually a team behind the project and not just a few people. I'm really interested to see exactly where this goes. If you guys would like to keep updated with the Kingdom Hearts 2 final remix project, then be sure to follow Redraw over on Twitter. He plans on bringing forth a lot more updates in the coming months and weeks, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to leave the link to his Twitter in the description down below. Now guys, please do share your thoughts and opinions. I know that Redraw is really keen to know what you guys think. I really wanted to share this to bring it to more people's attention. However guys, with all that being said, I'm Cynical. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.